Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today's Friday the 29th of November and my plan today is to go up to Brent Knoll, set up my camp there. But before we get on with that, I've laid out all my stuff as I usually do before I go on a hike or go camping or anything like that. And basically I run through a checklist and make sure I pack everything. So I'll quickly run you through what I've got and what's going on, and then shove it all in my bag and we'll get going. Right, so this is what we've got going on here. Ignore all the, especially the Christmas tree. Yeah, it's not even December yet. That's why it's still in a box. But anyway, back to the subject. Yeah, this is what we got going on here. So I'll quickly run through everything. I've got a iPad over there which has a checklist on everything. So yeah, basically making sure everything's packed. Here, I've got my tent. Same as the one in my previous video. It's my only small backpacking tent, but it does the job, so that's all we can ask for. Obviously the poles to go with it and the pegs. I am planning on upgrading these pegs because they are just your bog standard tent peg. So yeah, that is on the to-do list. This is my new sleep pad. I didn't have this in the last video, but I have tested it out since, because last weekend I went camping with my mate who does a bit of fishing. So he was at like one of the local ponds, so I went and camped there the night with him, and very comfy and very warm, so that's all you can ask for. Just a pillow. Again, I think I might upgrade this at some point, but it's one of them. I don't think you're ever going to get a comfortable camping pillow. And then finally the new sleeping bag, but this is obviously in its mesh sack. It compresses down a lot more than this. I don't think anyone will be able to fit that in their bag, but yeah, so that's what we got going on there. That's sort of the sleep arrangement, if you will. Next we've got basically a pile of clothes. This is what I'm going to change into and what I'm going to wear. You know, it's ranging from a snood because it's cold out, with socks, t-shirt, trousers, and my waterproofs, for obvious reasons. It's pretty grim out there today, so they'll be coming in handy. Next is basically just like extra sleeping clothes, you know, if in case things get wet or cold. A pair of gloves, another snood, pair of socks, hat, spare pair of boxers, ideal. And then finally, in terms of the clothing, we've got just an old down coat. Again, that's on my to-do list of new equipment to get, especially as if it's going to start getting colder. Then moving around onto the food, obviously important. Got my like pans and stuff like that inside of there. Oh, I don't actually need that one. I forget. That's my my latest thing, is I put my gas canister inside of here. Just saves on a little bit of space. Also inside of here I have a Ziploc bag full of like sachets of sugar, Nutella, Marmite, things like that, things that can go on bread basically, just in case I fancy a bit of toast and want a bit of Marmite or something like that. We got it. So that's what's in there. This is just my little stove that obviously attaches onto the top of the gas canister. You know, pretty standard stuff. It's only a small little thing, but it does the job. I'm hoping it's not too windy, because that it might be a problem, but hey ho, we'll get to that. Just a set of knives and forks, and tonight I'm having bacon sarnies with some nice thick bread. Look at that. Oh, that looks good. So yeah, gonna have some of them. Got a little bit of oil just for the first few bits of bacon so they don't stick. Banana for the morning. Porridge. Again, sugar comes in handy. Add a few sachets of sugar to that. Delicious. Some snacky bits. Couple packs of crisps, just because I love my crisps. Oh, and you can't beat a bit of mother's bacon. Oh yeah. They're like chocolate fudge cookies or something like that. Bang. And then I've only got a litre of water tonight because I've been hydrating all day. So I've drank about 2 litres already today. And I only need, like I say, a bit for a drink, and a bit to clean up my pans, and a bit to boil for porridge in the morning. So other than that, I don't need a horrendous amount of water, so probably one of them for drinking, and then another one of them for the rest. Small little bits and bobs and gizmos and whatnot. So this is literally just a microfiber towel. Really handy. I put it in one of the pockets in the tent just to wipe down any moisture. This is just a lantern. It hooks onto the top of the tent. There's a little hook in there. Ideal, you know. It was like a couple of quid. Can't really grumble. Head torch, obviously it's going to be dark, so I need to see where I'm going. That is another thing that needs to be upgraded. This is not very bright, but it does the job. Battery pack, obviously for charging my phone and GoPro. Things to keep me occupied. I've obviously got movies installed on Netflix and like Disney and things like that, but word search and just a book, simple, and passes time, and they're enjoyable. It's quite peaceful actually, just sat out there doing a bit of reading. So I've got two dry bags here. I use these to keep my sleeping stuff, like sleeping clothes, dry, for obvious reasons. If for whatever reason the inside of my bag got wet, at least this would keep it dry. Or if I've got, for example, wet clothes, then that's what the spare one is for. If they want to go in the bag, it doesn't make everything else wet. In here is just like toiletries and stuff. This is a first aid kit, obviously essential. Plasters, blisters, bandages, stuff like that. Obviously your standard first aid kit. And then this is just sort of like an essentials bag, really. I'm sort of working on this. This is the newest addition to the bag, so hence why it's so sort of lackluster. But it's just got a puncture repair kit, a few spare batteries, and a tub of Vaseline just in case my lips get dry. I guess in the bag, here we are. I've got a dry liner in here. Again, I'd rather have this. It's like a few grams, like, you know, it's like 100 grams at most, and it's just that extra security. It's going to keep my stuff dry. I'm not going to turn up and my bloody, I don't know, all my clothes are wet, or, you know, my sleeping bag, or no, well, my sleeping bag doesn't go in there, but you know what I'm saying. Just an extra layer of security. So that is basically everything. There is nothing. Is there anything else I take? I hope not, because otherwise it would be here, and that's sort of the whole point in it. But I'm now going to stuff it all into my bag. I'm going to set up a little time lapse, I think, on that shelf. Right, so we are outside now. It's not actually as bad as I thought in terms of temperature wise. It is pitch black, mind. So like I say, if I turn the torch off, you cannot see me. I mean, I can see in front of myself perfectly fine, but yeah, it is dark. So yeah, I set off about 5 minutes ago. It's not a long path. Like I say, I'll probably be there within an hour. It's going to be interesting to set up my tent in the dark and actually try to find somewhere flat to pitch. So we shall see. I'm currently hear the train going past, and I've got to cross the railway track, so that's going to be interesting. Fortunately, trains are quite big and you can see them quite easily, so you know, I'm not too worried about that. Am I actually walking on the path here, or am I just in the bush? But there we go. Right, this is the set we got going on here at the moment. That's just all my munch. Bottles of water and stuff. I need to sort all that out. I will do when I cook. My bag, I need to tuck that onto the porch a little bit. Oh, let's move the shadow. There we go, that's a bit better. And then I just got my coat down there and my sleeping bag out and just like lofted a bit. And then I'm just sort of sat here with my legs hanging out, because once you're in the shelter it's plenty warm enough. I must admit the wind chill is pretty chilly, but yeah, it's 8:30. Not sure how cold it is, but I'm in a fleece and a t-shirt and my trousers, and I'm a little bit chilly. I've still got a coat to put on, and thermals when I go to bed, so I'm not too worried. And I've got the door open still, so it's crazy how much difference a shelter makes compared to being stood out there. Like, it's actually bearable, you know. Oh, good morning. It's currently 7 o'clock, and I'm going to be honest, not the best night's sleep in the world. Because when I finally got into my sleeping bag and laid down, there's the ground that I'm on is actually surprisingly level, but unfortunately there is a lump. Like, I don't know whether it's like a rock or just a bit of bloody like grass, or but anyway, there's a lump, and if I sit one side of it, it puts me on a weird angle one way, and if I sit the other side, it puts me on a weird angle the other. I mean, not ideal, but managed to sort it out by stuffing some of my clothes under one side of my mat and just getting on with it. But like I say, right now as I'm led here, I'm super comfortable, and yeah, basically I'm not sliding around anymore. So I'm just going to chill here for a little bit, and then when I can be bothered, I've got to build up to it, get out, cook some breakfast, and then I guess we'll wait for the sunrise, pack up our stuff, and then poodle on back. So I've just packed up all my camping stuff, other than my cooking equipment. Just about to start boiling some water to make some porridge. And yeah, I'm just sat here and admiring the views at the moment. Look at this. Beautiful. Shame there's quite thick cloud coverage, and we're not really getting the whole effect of the sunrise, but hey ho. Whether you can see right in the distance there, that's the Mendips, and they're currently covered in a low-lying mist / cloud. Looks really dramatic. So yeah, I'm going to cook up some breakfast and pack up my tent, and then I'll show you around the top. Now it's daylight and we can actually see. Porridge is finished absorbing, I guess. How do you have your porridge? Now, I prefer thick porridge. I can't stand runny porridge. These instant porridge things are brilliant. Literally just add some water. I'd bring a bit of sugar just to add to it. It does already have golden syrup in, but I love my sweet treats. Sun's starting to break through the clouds. It's a shame I couldn't turn my tent the other way, but if I did, I'd be getting absolutely smashed right now by the wind. So, sorry, there's a slug on my. Get off! Get off my tent, slug! There's been so many tiny little slugs, like sort of size of your fingernail. Not quite the same as when I go to like the shelter up in what you've seen in my first video. God, there are some like hefty slugs that are like chunky, mistaken for snakes. The clouds over on the hills there are starting to dissipate, and you can starting to clear up a bit actually. So I'm hoping by the time I pack up my tent and whatnot, it'll be nice and clear up here, and we'll be able to see out. Last night it got so misty, like I couldn't see probably 30 meters in front of me. Again, fortunately I'm set up in the tent, so it's not a big deal. I've still got the remnants of my cold that I'm feeling in the back of my throat. It just feels like I need to clear my throat all the time. But it's not that bad. And if we stop for things like that, never end up doing anything. Like last night, let's say I decided not to come out. What am I going to be doing? Like, that's actually like benefiting me in any shape or form. You know, like realistically, I'd have probably been playing Xbox, and like my mates would have been on Xbox, and it, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy that, but I'm at that point now where if I'm to choose between Xbox and basically going outside and doing stuff, I'm always going to pick going outside and doing stuff. Right, we are packed up and ready to go. My camp last night was just up here on this little flat down by my feet, lovely and flat, but there is like, it must be that, but yeah, I was like rocking on that last night, but I managed to level myself out a bit. Town area over there where I've lived all my life, and you know, although it's on your doorstep, it's easy to come out and appreciate places like this. So yeah, you know, this little mound over there, that's Breen Down. Probably really hard to make out, but there's another little mound there with a castle on, and that's uphill. The hills along the back here, that's like Western Woods towards like Qstoke, and then in the foreground here is I want to say this is like Bleedon and Loxton Hills, but then obviously part of the Mendips come around here. This big one in front of us is Crooks Peak, and yeah, it basically goes all the way along there, and that's called the West Mendip Way. So hopefully I'm thinking next summer I might do a multi-day hike and see what we can see up there. That's on the to-do list. Round to the other face now. Unfortunately, it's really hard to see, but there's a small hill over there. I say small hill, with a little thing on top. I can't think what you would call it now, but that's Glastonbury Tor. And again, this entire area is known as the Somerset Levels, and you can see why, because it is flat. We haven't had too much rainfall this year, so you can see that there's not loads of flooded areas. But if we have a really wet year, pretty much everywhere around here is flooded because it's just so flat. There's nowhere for it to drain, and it all just ends up sitting. So yeah, again, got the M5 running along there. This is the down here right below us is the A38. I mean, don't get me wrong, if this was a clear day, you'd be able to see for miles. You'd be able to see Glastonbury Tor quite clearly, and the rest of the Mendips over in this direction. But I mean, today or like days like today, it's a completely different atmosphere. It's cool. So we're, like I say, walking around the sort of brim of Brent Knoll right now. And there wasn't really a deal of camping places. I was very limited because of the wind last night. The beacon for Brent Knoll. Got a few different little waypoints and stuff. So you can see there's a Tor off in that direction. Crooks Peak, the Mendips, Western. Oh, we've even got the Brecons on there. That's another place I've been. Around Penafan. Bring down. What else have we got on here? Exmoor, Contox, Blackdown Hills. Again, another place that I need to go. But yeah, so it's things like this interest me. If you watched my Cheddar Gorge video, when I got to the top of the gorge, there was a big like watchtower thing, and that had a bunch of like waypoints on it, which is interesting. Start going actually. Another little beacon here. 90th birthday of Queen Elizabeth. Nuts. No, I'm going to turn the camera off because I can tell I'm about to end up on my ass. And whee! Almost. Yesterday when I was on my way to Brent Knoll, I was walking along this same path, and I mean, I could tell it was bloody boggy under my feet, but I didn't quite realise how bad. My boots are absolutely caked in it. Soon enough though, it turns into like a sort of a farmer's track rather than just a soggy field. So yeah, we're just about to come up to the train line crossing. Last night when I was on my way here, I literally stepped onto the train track, checked both ways, and I could see a light, and I was like, no, I ain't risking it. And fortunately I didn't, because within about 10 seconds the bloody train went flying past me. So yeah, hello, good morning swans. You weren't very happy to see me yesterday, were you? Make sure there's no trains coming. No, oh, I think there's one right in the distance, but he's miles away. It's always so strange walking along train lines, because it's a weird phenomenon, because they're so parallel. It's like when you see those, what's it called? Like when you're in a changing room, and they got mirrors either side of the wall. It's like infinity. Similar sort of thing to that, I think anyway. Make sure that gate's locked. There's a bloke behind me, he's probably thinking, what a weirdo talking to himself. I mean, he's right about the weirdo, but I'm not talking to myself, I'm talking to the camera. Just made it home. I can see my house in the distance. And in general, it's been a good night away. Successful as well. You know, I've stayed warm, I've stayed dry, and that's all you can really ask for, I think. You know, I've had a good night, seen some pushed my equipment to not necessarily its limits, but definitely the most extreme conditions I've camped in terms of on top of a hill in quite windy and wet conditions. But yeah, the fact that we've come away from it with the knowledge that the equipment I've got is capable and can withstand those conditions, then it just opens up a lot more doors to do stuff in the future. So yeah, if this is something you like the look of, then or have enjoyed it, then make sure you subscribe, give it a like, and even drop yourself a comment, and I'll catch you in the next one.